In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 financial mistakes you might be making as a father and ways you can fix them. What's up, guys? My name is Justin and welcome back to the channel. Whether you have been a father for years or are getting ready to welcome that little baby into your life, the financial side of being a father is not really something most people are prepared for. And if you've struggled with your finances in the past, don't expect the new baby to come around and help you fix your problems. Unless you are trying to proactively improve your current situation, most people will continue down the road they've been going on, getting them deeper and deeper in the hole. Here are 5 financial mistakes you might be making and ways you can fix these issues. Number 1, you are wasting money you don't have. This is something I have definitely struggled with in the past, and it's something I continue to work on every single day. I don't want my kids to think we are struggling with money, and at the same time, I want to give them the opportunity to enjoy life. I want to give them things I didn't get as a kid, and I want to take them places I never went as a kid. But with that comes the issue. Oftentimes we spend money we don't have to do things we can't afford. This often leads to a mountain of credit card debt, late bills, and the added stress of being behind. First, let me start by saying there are plenty of things you can do with your kids that don't cost a lot of money, and there are ways to buy things for them without breaking the bank, but the best thing you can do in this area is to start creating a budget. I know, a budget. Nobody wants to be in a budget because it sounds like it's limiting, but in reality, it's actually very freeing. When you sit down and actually list out the things you need to pay for each month, you can start adding in the fun stuff to your budget. I have a separate savings account for a vacation fund, a spending fund, and also a date night fund. Having these separate accounts allows me to throw some extra money into these accounts, so when it's time to have some fun, I'm not stressing about it. I already have the money set aside. Number 2, you're ignoring where your money is going. How many of you out there have said this at one point in time?
I just don't know where it all goes.
Well, that's because you aren't tracking your spending. Whether you are handing cash over to your kids, swiping that debit card, it's easy to nickel and dime the money away. Think of your money as tiny little workers. You need to tell your money where to go, and you need to tell it how to work for you. Now that you have your budget in place, what you need to start doing is tracking your spending. You need to know where your money's going every paycheck. If that means becoming obsessive and checking your bank account 13 times a day, like me, hey, it's a sacrifice you should be willing to make. Whether it's pen and paper or an app you use, start tracking where all your money is going. Number 3, you aren't ready for emergencies. If there's one thing that can definitely throw a wrench in your finances, it's not being prepared for an emergency. We've all been there. Everything's going great. Bills are paid on time, groceries are bought, and then all of a sudden, we have a flat tire. The dishwasher goes out, and your kid just fell out of the neighbor's tree and broke their arm. If you don't have the money saved up, which you probably don't, you need to go out and borrow the money to fix these issues. And with borrowing money comes more debt, more monthly payments, and more stress. I'd highly recommend that you set some money aside every month and start building up that emergency fund. This amount is going to be dependent on how often you have issues come up. I personally do a $1,000 emergency fund because I don't have that many issues coming up every month or every so often. But if you feel like issues are constantly coming up in your life, you may need to bump it up to $2,000 or $3,000. That way, when something happens, you're ready. And remember, this is money set aside for emergencies, not that TV at Walmart. That's what your next stimulus check's for. Number 4, you aren't paying off your debt. One of the biggest issues most families deal with are finance related, and more specifically, debt. If you are currently in debt, then you know the feeling this can have on you and your relationship. It causes a lot of tension and arguments that lead to even bigger issues. If you are currently in debt, I want you to do something for me. I want you to sit down and list out the monthly payments for each of those debts. So your credit card, your auto loan, your mortgage, that personal loan you got. I want you to list out the monthly payments for all those debts. For real, grab a piece of paper and write it out. I'll wait. Okay, how much of your hard-earned money is going to paying off debt? $500 a month, $1,000, $2,000 a month? Now what I want you to do is I want you to sit down and think about how good it would feel to have that money back in your pocket every month. Think of what that extra money could do for you and your family. How much of that could be saved up? How much of that could be invested towards your kids' future? How much could be invested towards your future, your retirement? Next, list out your debts from smallest all the way down to the largest and start tackling these debts. We need to attack these full head of steam. This is also known as the debt snowball. I have a ton of videos going over this topic on my channel, so go ahead and find those videos. Number 5, you're oversharing your finances with your kids. I think it is important for us to teach our kids about finances. It is important for them to have a pretty solid grasp of the concept so they can grow up making better financial decisions. However, there's a big difference in educating our kids and burdening our kids. One of the biggest issues I made when it came to my debt-free journey was making my problems my kids' problems. Rather than discussing with them the steps we were going to take to get out of debt, I made them feel like it was their fault. Well, if I didn't have to buy you those school clothes, we wouldn't be in this mess. Well, maybe if your birthday didn't cost so much, I could afford that. And please, I beg you, don't make this mistake. Don't make this problem your kids' problem. Instead, discuss with them what being debt-free could do for you guys. Discuss the fun things you'll be able to do when you reach your goal and make them a part of the wins, not the struggles. Try to avoid sharing the negatives with them. Remember, this isn't their problem. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you found any value in this whatsoever, then please throw me a thumbs up and comment down below with the financial struggle you are currently facing. If it's a video you want me to do and go into more detail on, let me know so I can make it happen. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'm coming at you with different tips and tricks to help you improve your life, and you don't want to miss them. And as always, let's keep growing.